Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How the devil are we? Hope you're all doing well. It's all good to see you. Zodiac's already in the chat. What's up, buddy? We're gonna come to that segment. Don't worry. I got a few things on that. Also, I'd like to give a very special memorial shout out for this incredible woman. May she always rest in peace. And it's crazy that it's 4 years now. I don't care what anyone says. If you think character and you think who is one of the best to do it, if no one ever thinks of Daphne, then you don't know what a character is. And I'm not joking. Woman, incredible wrestler, and it's crazy that it's 4 years now. 4 years. James, good to see you. That's alright, mate. I mean, Raw was crap anyway. Yeah, I still miss Daphne. But how is everybody though? Hope you're all doing well. Here to Dynamite, I've got a few wee updates as well for a few wee updates regarding the weekend. So we've got that. And we've got another few wee things that we're going to discuss, but this is going to be a fun show. I really think we're in for a very, very fun review. I think everyone's going to be on board tonight in the best way. So we're going to do some fun. And we're going to chat some Dynamite. So, let's get right in with the obvious first. This is an AEW show. What's not on the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen? I will wait. What's not on the show? I've got some funny little memes as well. Interesting. WrestleMania 2026 no longer set for New Orleans. Local organization says the city will host Money in the Bank. Says who? Who's saying this? Why would you take WrestleMania away from New Orleans? New Orleans actually has the size capacity for it. Unless they've got a very distinct location in mind, why the hell would you move it? And Double or Nothing Predictions is not today, it's on Saturday. It was just dropped by WrestleNomics. Strange. That's very strange. I can't see why they would drop New Orleans. I don't get it. Why would you drop New Orleans? New Orleans has been a good crowd for them. What are you going to replace New Orleans with? That's got me really stumped now. Where are they having Mania then? That's a good question. I'm going to say this controversially. There's not a state, in my opinion, in America that is better than New Orleans in the past 10 years. Louisiana has been the best crowd for them in terms of Americans in the past 10 years. And if anyone says Chicago, I'm going to say it's not, because Chicago's been better for AEW in my opinion. I think New Orleans has been WWE's best. I'm very stumped by that. They probably got notified that the final boss would be making an appearance at the show and decided to drop it. I mean, it's night 2 WrestleMania is on my birthday next year, so I'll be skipping it. No, I won't be. I'm just kidding. I'll be watching and see how it goes. Could WrestleMania be somewhere abroad in the States? Well, the Royal Rumble's got Saudi. Wonder if they do both. Could we have a Saudi WrestleMania? I don't think the UK is prepared yet for a WrestleMania, so I'm going to rule out the UK. And plus, Americans would hate for it to be a UK pay-per-view anyway, because they'd have to be so damn early that they'd probably go psycho. Truthfully, you would. Hello, Maria. Hope you're doing well. I'm very surprised. Saudi would mean a 5 p.m. start in the UK, 6 p.m. If it is Saudi, that would make the channel awkward, because it would make this channel awkward, because I said I wouldn't be reviewing Saudi content anymore. So I'm already telling you in advance I will not be reviewing the Royal Rumble or previewing it. I don't care. Royal Rumble 2026 doesn't exist to me. Like last night's final doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, I'm very, very confused. Poor New Orleans, by the way. I actually feel sorry for them. Imagine you've already Actually, hold on. Here's a serious question. If they're looking to pull now, when would the tickets have gone on sale? That's something that I'm actually questioning. When would the tickets have gone on sale? Or when would they go on sale? Would it be August, September time? Oh wait, I know. I figured out why they're dropping New Orleans. It's obvious, isn't it? What's the one thing? Damn joking. You're gonna have to elaborate on that a little bit. But here's the thing as well. WWE's excessive prices. What if New Orleans is just when we're not backing it? So it would have been the end of August. In this case, this year it's start of August, because it's the first week of August, I think. SummerSlam this year. Hosted by Cardi B. Jesus Christ. I'm starting to think maybe WWE's prices are catching up to them because New Orleans wouldn't have been the best choice. They're not stingy though, New Orleans. They're not particularly stingy from what I've heard. Hello, Fernando. I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. How are you? How are you? It's another good night of wrestling, that's for sure. Well, there's hopefully going to be another good night of wrestling. There's 2 shows on tonight. Well, 3 actually, because Ring of Honor's on, but I barely watched that. Although, I will be watching GCW. Dynamite was an excellent go-home show. Yeah, there was 1 or 2 concerns about Dynamite that I have. I mean, I naturally have 1 or 2 concerns because no show was absolutely perfect. But I did enjoy the show. We will certainly come on to that. Suppose what I will do as well, because we normally do it, is we do open the show with news. So that WrestleMania bombshell certainly is news. Let's see what else we've got before we begin. You can give me your opinions as well on Dynamite, guys. I'd love to hear what you thought. Just a reminder as well, if you watch Dark Side of the Ring, next Tuesday is the Muhammad Hassan episode. And even funnier is the truth from Jim Cornette in this episode, by the way. How can you have an Italian from Syracuse play an Arab American? I'm really concerned for this episode. Snitsky's on this episode. Chris Masters is on this episode. Cornette's on this episode. Maven. Can't remember who the bald guy is, but I'll see who he is. But this is going to be one hell of an episode. I've just seen it there as well. Like, should be a good one for us 2000s kids. I was there when Muhammad Hassan debuted. I was watching, obviously live, but I remember his whole run like it was yesterday. I've just seen a video clip of Kurt Angle wrestling Eugene Nagata when he went over to Japan when Kurt was like prime deadly Kurt. One of my favorite wrestling matches that he had against Eugene Nagata. If you've never watched that match, I recommend it. Here's a little bit of horrible news for anybody who hates John Cena. If you do hate John Cena, this is one for you. So basically, Indianapolis, Atlanta, perhaps. Texas, I can see it. Florida makes sense. London, getting it done so quickly in that period of time, I don't think they'll manage it. I think I'm ruling out London, this one. But the other 4 make sense. But New Orleans is fucking stupid letting them fail. But yeah, Cena, Scott, and Logan Paul against Cody Rhodes and the Uso Clowns for Money in the Bank, according to PW Insider. I don't know about you, but I find that absolutely disgusting. And not disgusting in a good way, disgusting as in, this is horrible. What a way to insult your fans, eh? What a way to insult your fans. Oh god, oh goody, can't fucking wait for that if it were to happen. Absolute classic. James, your sarcasm is top tier, my friend. I got that from a source who's into sports marketing and ticket sales. We'll see where it goes. I guess that explains why the mid card title isn't being defended at Money in the Bank. It also explains why Cena won't defend his WWE title then. Still, I'm not really impressed. There's an OVP retro video here of Bret Hart getting crazy at Jerry Lawler. I wish I could play it because it's actually a great promo. Hmm. Someone's actually put on a betting slips for Double or Nothing, which I find very bizarre. I definitely do not encourage it. I think that's all. Don't think there's anything else. No? Ladies and gentlemen, this account is vastly popular on Twitter. Does follow me. I follow them back because it's just entertainment just to read some of the bizarre takes, but please don't end up like this person. It's all I ask. Please don't. The same account that claims Jey Uso is a main event star and is one of the best in the world. Please don't be like this person. You deserve better. This is how I know your life will end if you pick these kind of takes as your belief about wrestling. You will forever suffer in life. So please don't. Absolute clusterfuck. Got to bring the Pepsi out. They're in my fridge. But I do have something with me that's slightly different. Doesn't hit the same. Pepsi is still the ruler of the world. It wouldn't surprise me, Stussy. And then that'll be the second game in a row that I haven't bought. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay, right. I think it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to... What's that phrase? Is it suffer in silence? No, he's not, Catherine. The only time he's a main eventer is if I'm dead. And last time I checked, I'm alive. I'm alive and well. Jesus Christ, Zodiac. Greetings, Reece. Nice to see you. How are you? Good evening, Roisin. Not too bad, thanks. You? Right. Light the fuse. Bring the boom. From Albuquerque, New Mexico, it's the Dynamite Go Home show for Double or Nothing. Let's get preliminary thoughts in. Let's just get our quick overall. Before we review it, what did everybody think of Dynamite if you've watched the episode? And then at the very end of the show, of course, I'll give you some updates. Some fun little updates. Show was a 7, says Catherine. Interesting, okay. I admire the honesty. Six out of 10 says Zodiac. Okay. So he's saying it's just checking because this is going off. Lovely. From what I've seen, a decent enough show, says James. That's fine. Okay then, let's proceed. With a review. So, let's jump into this. An 18-minute opening segment. An 18-minute opening segment from that's fair, Zodiac. That's fair. An 18-minute segment involving the now confirmed main event of Double or Nothing, Hangman versus Will Ospreay. In terms of the segment, it really did, pardon the pun, light a fuse under both of them. I think you can really see both men are trying their absolute hardest to give the other like the perfect motivation to come out and win this weekend. And I think that's actually very good television. But I also have to rein in what I didn't like, and what I didn't like was the way that it started. Like I didn't like that we were teased a confrontation and then we just bin the security. Like I felt like that was just it just feels cheap. It just feels cheap, you know? So I was like, nah, I didn't particularly like that at all. I thought that was just really lame. But I did like the content of the promo segment, and I normally prefer a show starts with a match. I normally prefer a show to start with a match, but I like that they actually started with the main event, going back and forth against each other, confirming what really matters, and that is to win because there's more at stake. And I actually rate this a lot. If it has substance and it has meaning, I'll rate it. If it doesn't, then I'm going to ignore it. All in all, good segment. I actually quite enjoyed it. I'm expecting a match of the year candidate with Hangman Ospreay main event. Is that too high of expectations? Considering what you're delivered constantly, I don't think so. I think that's reasonable. This segment was just too long and took me out of the show. Hangman just sucks and drains the life out of any segment he's in. Jesus, Catherine, give him a break. He's literally the best babyface this company has. Segment was good, but 18 minutes was a bit too long. Yeah, I would have said 12 minutes is enough. Like, I would have brought it down. Spot at the very end. I feel like that was just taking the piss. So, yeah, I think they just, even though it was good for the content, they just overcooked it a little bit for time when it wasn't necessary. And I think one match in the show felt actually suffered the repercussions from it. So that's something that needs to change. Yeah, I agree. I think Hangman really controlled this promo, but Ospreay did rein it in the second half. I hate the fact that he's got the stupid haircut as well. Like, he looks like a goof. Get the messy hair back, mate, because when you've got the curtains, you look like a pansy. And if you want to be a world champion, do it without the pansy haircut. Because he's looking like the Miz right now. Like, he is looking like the Miz. And I can't take that seriously. All in all, it progresses on. We get to the first match, and the first match didn't really disappoint. It actually did do rather well. So I liked how we started it. Obviously, weirdly, John Osprey. I nearly said John Osprey because he acts like it. John Moxley's channeling a little bit of Osprey here in terms of his attitude, but he has to come all the way in from the outside of the arena. Like, this dramatic effect is absolute shit. I'm not a fan of that. Like, I would rather him be inside the arena already. No, it's understandable, Zodiac. It's understandable. I don't like that Moxley showed up the way he did. He should have already been in the crowd, right? Like, well, the crowd area or approaching the crowd area, ready to go. Lame from the champion. Very, very lame. I can't condone this. Also, a world champion now, we would eventually find out, obviously comes to the ring without his title or his briefcase. This is why people are concerned about Moxley as world champion. Like, we haven't seen this title since last year, and I know people are going to say, "Oh, at least." because this is not going to help anyone. If we don't see it at All In or in the road to All In, like after Double or Nothing, then the value comes down. Like, that kind of shit, it actually has a hampering on the value of the title. At this point, it's more than just the champion, it's the title belt. You physically need to see it. Otherwise, the motivation's gone. Because you can beat Moxley, but you're not winning a title. You're just winning a chance to look at it. That's what they're kind of doing. It doesn't feel like it's a. It doesn't feel like the strength of the title itself. No, I get that. Like, they're trying to make the guy who beats Mox and brings it back the next big hero. I completely understand that. But there should be times where he's parading it in front of people. You know, like that little bit of a glimmer, like, oh, this is what you're fighting for. Like, even if he does one, this is what I'm saying. I said it months ago. If we just get one promo where he just holds it out of the case, and he goes, "If this is what you're fighting for, then this is the last time you're gonna see it," and then he just puts it back in. You know what I mean? Like, it's that real teaser. I just feel like the more you don't show it, the more it doesn't feel like it has worth. Which is a shame, because it does have worth. And I don't essentially dismiss All in One. I just think it'd be nice to see it at least once. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? Yeah. There's people that will absolutely defend this, saying, no, keep it going. We don't need to see it. And I'm like, well, you clearly don't understand then. Like, you need to physically see your championship, because here's the thing that's true. If WWE was doing this, or any other company was doing this, and you didn't see the title for nearly half a year, or more than half a year, you would be bitching after the first couple of months. You would be. Gets to 6 months, you will be fucking losing the plot, saying, where is the title belt? So I'm not employing AEW in that sense to all of a sudden just have it appear every single week. But at least have it show up now and again. Even if you just open up the case, quick glance, and then you go, that's it. All right, Niall. I'm fine. Yourself? Jesus Christ, Glenn. I happen to not like that. Like, the actual food, I don't. But that's made me laugh. But yeah, if you like the situation, that's okay. I personally think it's dragging itself now. It has to end. I do not. No. For multiple reasons. Our first contest, of course, the champion makes his way out first, then come the EVP, so we're getting the heels out first, which is very interesting. followed by the 2/3 of the trios tag team, the Ops. We get Brian's best buddy, Powerhouse Hobbs. We get Samoa Joe, and they are teamed up by the outstanding Swerve Strickland. I like this. It's alright, Glenn. It's alright. I like that this match started the show and then the same guys ended the show. Like, this is something I'm going to praise. This is how you know your story is working. And before anyone says, no, it's not working, this is a WWE thing, by the way, that works. The guy who beats Mox for the title needs to have a longer reign than the amount of time we haven't seen the title. And I'm not sure that's in the cards with Ospreay, but he is beating Mox for it. I think Ospreay holds the title until Kenny Omega turns heel. Either Kenny Omega beats him for it or Jay White beats him for it. But I think Darby Allin's still the way they're doing it. Darby Allin looks like he's going to be the one that does it, since now he's done Mount Everest. That's it. He's on his way back now. I think the manner of the match is really strong. I like the involvement of all 6 members of the match. They do tell a good story of a 6-man tag match. It's well done. Samoa Joe for me is the most outstanding part of this match. I think he's actually the best performer in the match all round. I think the wild recovery of Swerve Strickland after he slips when he does his ricochet attempt, when he runs and jumps outside the ring, lands on his feet. He does slip on, I think it's a shoe or something. He slips on a shoe. Staged quite well if you look at that entire thing again. He slips and then recovers, and then obviously he eats a super kick. Of course he does. And then, of course, back in the ring, Samoa Joe does the suicide dive. He does his classic no sell the diving move as well. When the opponent comes out and he just walks away. I agree, Maria. It was a solid match, and it was good to see them just work each other. Because this is what you need to do. You needed to see them work, because they won't be doing that on Sunday. They won't be working on Sunday. Sunday's going to be an all-out riot. So you have to be able to do a wrestling match before you do the gimmick. Yeah, everyone had great chemistry. I agree. I think Samoa Joe had the best chemistry with all of them combined. I think it just makes sense. But all in all, it's a good watch. I just feel like it was missing something. I'm not sure if maybe it was missing something or not, but I did think they did well all round, and all the teams really took it seriously, so it's good to see. The stare down Joe and Mox had made me thinking he is tapping Mox out Anarchy in the Arena. That's a serious possibility. I wouldn't bet against it, because Mox is not going to go unbeaten up to All In. He's going to lose maybe once or twice, but he's still going to have the indominant, like the indominant advantage. But this was just perfect. Really liked it, and it's good to see that Shibata appears, Kenny Omega appears, Willow Nightingale appears, Marina Shafir appears, Wheeler Yuta with his goth haircut, his emo We get the VTE trigger. We get a counter on the trigger by Swerve as well when he ducks out the way throughout the match. Like this whole opening, the whole opening promo that went too long but still has a moment. The opening promo into this opening contest, into the post match, delivered really well. And it's probably one of the few highs that AEW have had on Dynamite in recent times where you can't shit on it. I think you can shit on other things throughout the show, but I think from the opening match to the post match angle, you can't. All you can do is praise it. I think you'd be doing a disservice to not praise it. Since the babyface is too tall, I think the heels will win it. Anarchy in the Arena. Oh yeah, I think it wouldn't surprise me if Mox taps out, but I do think Mox is going to make Powerhouse Hobbs tap out. I think Powerhouse Hobbs is going to pass out at Anarchy in the Arena. I thought the segments, the Mercedes segment, one of her better ones, not anything special. Jamie sounded pretty good. I'm going to disagree, but I will say there's one line that she says in her promo that I just found embarrassing. But I'm going to disagree when you say it was not anything special, because this is one of her better segments in a long time. And I'm not saying that because she doesn't deserve praise. I'm saying it because when I look at her recent segments, this one actually lives up to it. And it lives up well. It gives us a little bit of growth. And is good as well. Like I actually think Mercedes done something in this promo that nobody's praising. Like not that I know of. I don't know if anyone else has noticed it, but I did. Mercedes did something in this promo that deserves respect. Jamie Hayter had her best promo since coming back from injury. Absolutely agree. I agree. That's how they rein you in, Zodiac. That's where the questions come in. The faces were standing tall at the end of the opening match, but not at the end of the night. Well, I have a perfect meme for this. Well, not a meme, but a perfect spot to justify your point. Because this was during the match. Well, this was post-match. We were very, very close to a one-winged angel through a wooden table. A patented move of Mr. Omega himself. The Hangman Osprey promo was very good, but the problem is it just went on too long. But it was good. We didn't need the security though, but the rest of it was good. The rest of it was good. I just thought it was incredible the way they've lined up. It was a very good opening 45 minutes to an hour of Dynamite. Why was Okada not there with the Elite? He's not part of the whole thing. He's not part of the match. He's not part of the plan for Double or Nothing for the Elite, so they've left him out. That's why he's got the speedball match. Because he doesn't want to get involved. He's focused on getting through speedball so he can get to what matters. That's why he wasn't there. Speaking of what's not good, however, God almighty, Zodiac, you know what's coming, buddy. I'm sorry, guys, but this was the worst segment on the show. This, for me, up next is the worst segment on the show. I don't know if I haven't seen anyone praise this. I tried. I've watched it twice. Don't worry, that's changing, Fernando. That's going to change very soon. Oh, last night he got booed the fuck out of. He got booed the fuck last night. MJF. They pick and choose. I think because they've. I actually think the reason why they hated this whole thing is because they've rushed it. They rushed the way they've done it, and I think they didn't like how he got into the syndicate. You know how we've been saying recently that WWE's been insulting our intelligence for some of the stuff they've been booking? This is what AEW have done. They rushed this little bit, and they've now insulted the intelligence of fans. I hated this segment. I'm imploring, I'm imploring them to just have MJF booted out the syndicate straight away. Because he shouldn't be in it anyway. They've ruined it. Watched it for at least 3 minutes and then turned off. Honestly, Jamie, I found it shit. I found it so shit. And also, I didn't like how this whole thing started. Backstage, he comes in with his bling bling suit, and I'm like, mate, that's not what they are. The Hurt Syndicate isn't a bling faction. Like, it's all about seriousness. It's about business, money, and titles. And you've come in dressed like a suited and booted Godfather. Not the actual Godfather, the pimp-loving Godfather. All he's missing is the fucking dreadlocks. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy brought this segment down. I actually think Dustin and Sammy saved the segment, personally, Maria. I'm going to say something that sounds very controversial. I think last night the best person on the mic last night in that entire segment was Dustin Rhodes, then MVP. Do you like MJF? I think he would do great in WWE. No, he wouldn't. I don't mind MJF, but I don't like him in a faction. But he would not do great in WWE. Not a chance. He fails in WWE. The Hurt Syndicate looks sharp in their suits with those championships. They look the part for sure. Yeah, they do. They look credible. Not incredible. They look credible. And they've just been reduced to nothing. All right, Billy. Yeah, less said about last night, the better. Not a good one. Overall, just really, really poor. But hey ho. But yeah, Guy, I don't mind MJF, but he fails in WWE. 100% he fails. And before you say why do I think that, I've said it about 20 times. I've said about 20 times on the channel why he fails. I'm not saying it for a 21st time. Nah, you're a good man, James. You're a good man. I think it'll be a decent tag match, but I don't think it's going to be. I'm not expecting it to be a world beater tag match. I'll say that truthfully. I'm not expecting it to be a world beater. I can go more into the segment. Yes, of course. I'm answering some comments in the chat. I've not moved on. I've not moved on from it. No, I actually think the Hurt Syndicate are going to win by DQ. I think it'll be a DQ finish, which I don't see the need for. The fact that this is another thing as well, is you put someone like Mark Stelling, excuse me, in this segment. It felt like a really poor contract signing, and it's something that Zodiac did bring up earlier on. Is he in or is he not? They've signed the contracts after getting 3 thumbs up. That's what pissed me off about the whole thing, that they've overstepped overstepped the mark. It should have been either contract from the beginning, either you do 3 thumbs up or contract signing. You don't do both. It was really bad. Reece, I'm going to an AEW party Monday as my mate works nights, so he's saving spoilers and watching on Monday. Decent. I think Double or Nothing's going to be good. I mean, it's the 6-year anniversary of the company, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Don't worry, James, I've been feeling it all day. Maria, good question. We never had a contract signing when someone joined a faction. Why here? Actually, hold on. Yes, we did. There's only ever been one that I know of. Hold on. I'm just going through my brain. Archive. We did actually have one contract signed in it, and it bottled itself. The main event Mafia did a contract signing once for Bobby Lashley, and it backfired. Because it never happened, obviously. But yeah, I don't see the need to do a contract signing for a member of a faction join another one. And especially for somebody who's not going to look the part. Like, MJF does not fit the faction. I mean, it's in the. It's not. I've not got it in the thumbnail. Let me check. Hold on, 2 seconds. Yeah, there it is. Look at the thumbnail. I'm sorry, but you're in a fucking sports cap, a dusted scarf, and a gold bling suit. Whereas you've got 3 members in all black with gold ties. The syndicate colours. This was shite. Like, I'm going to say this truthfully. Maxwell Owen Freeman. I've got a better one. Maxwell owe me some money, Freeman. This was really crap. Now, out comes Dustin. Now, there's a little thing about his promo that really isn't good, though. I'm going to stand by this part. I like Dustin Rhodes on the mic. I think he's one of the most authentic guys on the mic. Excuse me. I really do. I think Dustin Rhodes, at every point in his career, has always been good on the mic. He always sounds unique, he sounds organic, and he sounds where it's coming from. It's coming from inside. But Fernando especially said something earlier on about Hangman that I think is a very valid point. And I'm hoping that ends soon. About therapy at Hangman. I'm getting sick to death of Dustin Rhodes saying that he's been to hell and he's kicked the devil in the teeth. Have you noticed that he says that a lot on his promos? I'm starting to get toned out by it. Like, I'm actually getting, it's becoming really pathetic now. It goes back further than that, Zodiac. He's been saying it for at least 10. MVP and MJF took too much time going at the fans. Here's another thing. MJF just turned full-blown heel. Again. This was horrible. I feel like I was watching MV Kane or MV Big Slow. One word turns heel. Another word, babyface reaction. Another word turns heel. Like, this was bad. But I tell you what's also really bad as well. You had someone like Sammy Guevara standing there in a suit, and he doesn't even get to say a single word. Imagine that. Sammy Guevara doesn't get to say a word. I don't know about you, but that doesn't look good for me personally. Like, this is someone who's got good mic skills. He's got youthful wit on the mic. He's got Sammy Guevara's charismatic as well, and he doesn't get to say anything. Like, not even the words "see you Sunday." He didn't even get to say that. It's just, come on out so Dustin Rhodes can have a wank fest over the devil. I'm going to put the blame on Tony Khan for that one, because that's one of your longest tenured guys. That's one of your longest tenured guys. You know, I'm going to put this on Tony Khan. That's on him. That's not good. Sammy not getting a word in Edgeway sounds very suspicious, but not in a good way at all. If it doesn't go in a DQ finish on Sunday, I think he's going to take the pin. Almost seems like he's been set up, if you catch my drift. Really, really, really bad. And also, Bobby Lashley, either you commit to getting MJF in the faction or you fuck him out. Stop the will he or won't he sign it crap, which is what he did. That's not good television. That's not good wrestling. That's not good storytelling. For all you storytelling cocksuckers out there. Like, the worst side of storytelling. They don't appreciate all different forms of storytelling. This one was bad. Sammy will be the MVP of the match. I agree. Sammy versus Shelton in the ring's going to light a crowd up like they've had a rocket up their arse. It's going to be good. We get a backstage segment. The Continental Champion Okada. This guy is literally one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. If not my current favorite, besides AJ Styles and Omega. And fuck me, this segment offended me. Late to the party, but simply put, it was trash mostly. Monday Night Raw? Yeah. He wasn't going to call Renee a bitch. You should have done. Speedball not getting anything on this show tonight, but he will on last night, but he will on Collision tonight. Really is cheap. I don't think most of it was trash smooth. I think some things were, but not all of it. I think it was actually a decent show. Actually, I think it was a good show, but there were some things in there that I really was disappointed with. This is one of those things, again, that I was disappointed with. Back-to-back segments. Okada says, "You don't call me out, I call you out." Dude, you're the champion. You get called out. You respond yes or no. Here's another Tony Khan blunder. Like, I love Okada, man, but fuck me, he's getting fed scraps. I don't know where he goes from here. What do you mean not much? I think we're just destined to disagree, Smooth, because I disagree. I've seen the whole thing, Billy. I'll be surprised if he goes. I really will be surprised. I will be very, very surprised. Because it's not the right move for him. What was a good move for someone? Honestly, Maria, I'm starting to get really disappointed by the whole thing. Yeah. It's been made into a joke. So you're not going to say that the opening match to how that led into the post match angle, then the ending segment of the show wasn't creative at all, or even the use of Ricochet with Anthony Bowens. That's creative. It might not be the best creative in the world, but it's actually reflective of what they're doing going into a pay per view that they need to actually deliver. I'll tell you what wasn't creative, and I stand by it: using security in a segment that's going to end in nothing, or a contract signing that leads to the devil getting his teeth kicked in. Again, that's not creative. That's just flat out shit. Tell you who's creative without even having to do anything. Tony Storm. She doesn't even have to do anything. She's just creative by looking at her. Although one of her commentary lines last night had me in stitches, serious stitches. I mean, that's reading the room. But for me, how the opening match was, well, the match following that segment, the post match angle, and then how the show ends, for me, that's creative. Because it's not something they often do well either. Timeless Tony entrances are so cool. She was nailed on last night. She was nailed on. But there's one entrance that beats Timeless Tony Storms in AEW. There's one entrance that beats it by a mile. And funnily enough, it was on last night's show. No. Mina didn't turn heel, no. Although, I do have something for this as well, funnily enough. I do have a very important image that I actually will rate. Yep. Zodiac, you've kinda gave it away. Unfortunately, Aubrey Edwards is in this picture. I wish I could just delete her, but still, this was excellent. I loved it. I loved it, Fernando. This is how I was. This is my reaction to the whole thing. But yeah, I thought it was excellent. I rate the whole thing. Hmm. The next match has got me asking lots of questions, however, about how talent get used. The problem is you can't overstretch her because then it takes her authenticity away. That's why you cannot. That's why someone like Julia Hart, best entrance in AEW, that's why she hasn't failed once since she went under this dark, since she went through the darker character change many years ago. She's a prime example of owning her character to the fullest. And it's what I like about Toni Storm. She's owning it, but she's not settling it. She's projecting it. And I think that's the key is you've got to project it, but you can't undervalue it, you can't overdo it. My fear, however, even though we're discussing the main event in a minute, before we need to circle back to this Bowens match where my real concern is. I think Toni Storm needs to shift the character a little bit in a different way. And it might do her a very bizarre world of good. Now you look at right now, we'll be coming to her segment very soon, but Jamie Hayter is what? Her character's like a very tough, nitty and gritty character of an 80s woman. Timeless Toni Storm is based on Marilyn Monroe in the 50s, which is okay. Well, 50s going into the 60s. I want to see Timeless Toni Storm further the gimmick by adding a little bit extra. I would actually like her to add some little bit of 70s swagger to it. Like, let her roll with the punches. She's beaten her way out of the 50s and 60s, and now she's entering that 70s arc. Like, funnily enough, I would tell it like the chapters of a book. Instead of it becoming a cinematic character, because people are obsessed with the word fucking cinema these days, you absolute dorks. Let's make it literature. You can still have the theatrical approach, but let's make it like a book. Here's the first chapter's closed when she lost the title. So she goes into that amnesia spot, which is what she did beautifully. Actually, I'm giving too much away. I'm giving too much away. I'm not even going to give you what I'm thinking in my head because that's not my job. That is not my job. I'm not going to give you that away. But that's my idea. 4 or 5 steps ahead is what I would like to see. Cinema and This Is Awesome, ban it now, yeah. Hayter's pretty good. She needs to redefine her character. She is redefining. she is defining her character a little more. Since she's come back, she's just been embracing the 80s a little bit. Mercedes Moné did something I liked in that segment last night. I'm not saying she's an incredible talent in terms of mic work, but in terms of wrestling, she's great. But she did do something in that segment that I rate, and I'll come on to it later on. But if you say who was better in terms of delivery, I agree, it was Jamie Hayter. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is not because she's just automatically better on the mic. There's actually a reason why she does a lot better than this. But let's quickly review this match first. Bowens versus Ricochet. It ends. I want to just get to the end bit first so I can give my concerns out the way. So the match ended with Ricochet. Ricochet uses the scissors and then hits the spirit gun for the win, which I do admire. I do like that approach. That's a good way to win. And then you obviously get Briscoe comes out with the stretcher, because obviously the stretcher match on Sunday, the first stretcher match in AEW. Again, decent. And I like this. Yes, she was confident and there's passion there, but that's not why she was key in that promo yesterday. Yous are forgetting. Yous have not caught on yet, but I'll give you the answer to that one very shortly. But here's my question about Anthony Bowens, because since he's returned, and he had a great return at the last pay-per-view, and I like his presentation, I like the haymaker that he uses now as a finisher. I don't like that he's now squashing people in Collision or Ring of Honor. I'm sorry, but that's not getting him over. And if you think it's getting him over, explain it to me, because it's not working. He was over when he returned and he beat the shit out of that clown Blaster Casterberg. I feel like they've lost an edge. I don't like Billy Gunn following him around everywhere. I like that Billy Gunn's with him as a pair, because he should be the one helping him get over and as a singles talent. I don't want him to go back to the Guns, like his sons as a manager. I don't want that. I would rather Billy Gunn be an agent if he's not with Bowens, but if he sticks with him longer, he's going to revert back to being one of the scissor characters, and that's not what he is anymore. Maybe put Billy Gunn with someone younger, someone fresh that can use his guidance. I don't think Bowens needs his guidance at all. Fucking cringe. Fucking hate the Acclaimed. I'm glad that's not a thing anymore. See, if they were together without doing the scissor stuff, it would be so much better. Like, lean into like something. You know what Bowen should be doing right now? He should be going to Billy Gunn. You went away from the ass man gimmick and you became the one Billy Gunn. I want to be the one Anthony Bowens. Teach me how you did that and got over as that, because I actually think, and I stand by this, that was his best work. That for me was Billy Gunn's best singles work. Hello, Larbart, good to see you. He should be getting in line to challenge Adam Cole or something. He could if they go that way, in that route. Imagine this, the one Billy Gunn, the one Anthony Bowens. It actually fits. It fits Bowens really well. What do you mean you hate the idea? How can you hate that idea? Unless you're trying to give the guy good creative and you want him to keep scissoring people. God almighty, Billy. I thought you were cool. Nah, keep Dustin Rhodes where he is. Keep Dustin Rhodes where he is. Dustin Rhodes isn't doing anything wrong. Although if he keeps talking about the devil, then I'm going to boot him in the balls. The one Billy Gunn sunk fast in the Titanic, it actually went well. I think the only problem is what happened next. That's my only thing, though. I'll stand by on that was bad was what happened next. I don't think anyone is getting the gimmick over. I think Bowens could, but the whole scissor gimmick has to go. It's not his. It's not going to make him a star, or it's not going to take him to the next level if he keeps trying to scissor a 60-plus-year-old man. Ugh. Just the words make me feel cold. In the worst way. In the worst way. It was more successful from a financial aspect considering the times. As a character, absolutely. But I mean, like, just his work in the ring, match-wise, it was when he was when he was just the one, he had better matches. But when he was as the Mr. Ass character, he was definitely great with the crowd. I won't deny that. I won't deny that. I liked both his runs. I've always liked Billy Gunn. I prefer Billy Gunn to Road Dogg. Because I actually think Road Dogg was. Let's put it this way. A mutt can only be liked for so much before you decide, actually, I got the wrong breed and I want something new. Road Dogg was just that. Road Dogg was a stick man. No, he was chasing a lot of sticks. I know, true. He did. But in terms of working matches in general, he wasn't that great. I remember well, I don't remember obviously because I wasn't there at the time, but I did watch it back. His run as the roadie was actually quite decent. His run in TNA when he was BG James, obviously after his own name hyphenated down, that was decent. But that's because he had R-Truth when he was Ron Truth Killings and he actually was treated like a main eventer. And Conan, even though he's a weirdo, Free Live Crew is great. And then eventually when he went back with Billy Gunn, when he came in as the Outlaw, and then when they formed Voodoo VKM, which was just funny at the time, that lasted well for me. They're too old and their current mic work isn't great. Mike in the ring, Tyler, you don't know what to bring up. The annoying thing is though is they might be too old, but they're actually in good shape. That's the thing. If they were in horrible shape, I'd let them. Sting's retired. Sting's already retired. He's walked away. He's just doing appearances now. Edge, on the other hand, you'll be waiting a while for that one. Trust matches. The match against Rock at SummerSlam. He actually has a really, really great match, I'm about to say here. That one was decent. The Austin Billy Gunn one was really good. There's a match he does with the LOD when LOD were being treated like fucking idiots. Another thing that Vince McMahon needs to be shot for. But I like that. And then the match when he wins the Intercontinental title as well was phenomenal. There's a match where when he just wins the Intercontinental title and he's like, yeah, this guy stands out. And then so that's 4. And it's not just overall the match itself, but he's actually excellent in this match. I'm actually going to say the Royal Rumble 2001. And then obviously one that I do watch back now and again just for the entertainment factor, but one of his TNA matches that's actually just a decent watch. VKM when they go up against LAX. The end of this year, Sting will stop wearing his face paint. Whenever he goes to appearances, he'll just wear his sunglasses. This is his last year of everything to do with the character. I don't think you could Lark Bark just because obviously that means Steve Austin being stuck with the DX army, and I don't necessarily think that's his forte. He only did that just because Billy Gunn got involved. He was like, I only did it for one night only. I actually would have preferred it to be a handicap match. We get another fucking contract signing moment. Stokely, you absolute bald melon fucker, Hathaway backstage with FTR. And he challenges them he challenges Nigel McGuinness and Fudge Boy Garcia to appear at a contract signing tonight on Collision. We don't need a contract signing for this match. Someone fire Stokely Hathaway, please. Fire him. Give him his P45. This guy sucks. Oh, FTR, your heel turn has been brought down to shit because of him. Basic fudgeonomics. If FTR want to be relevant as a heel tag team, they need to do a spike pile driver on him. Otherwise, nah. And I stand by that. The hell? FTR needs to lift some weights. No, they don't need to. I don't think they need to. MJF doesn't work in WWE, dude. He doesn't work. MJF walks into WWE. He quits on the same day. He does not work in WWE. I'm not even kidding. I'm genuinely not kidding. Zodiac straight away proves why. Someone pays attention. Take your WWE blind sunglasses off and just accept that he doesn't work in WWE. And who isn't friends with Cody Rhodes? MJF works anywhere under competent booking. Not now. Not now. Could have done. Not now. But in WWE, no. That's like the one place he just doesn't work because they would neuter him. Exactly. Darius is spot on. What Darius has just said is why he doesn't work anywhere else. The stuff he speaks, the stuff he uses to get his reactions, that's all he is. You can't get him any other way in WWE. It doesn't even work in Japan. If you went to Japan, it doesn't work in TNA. It doesn't work in of all things, Ring of Honor. It's literally just an AEW situation. He's also being used in the worst way. I said it last week how I would have used MJF, but it ain't happening now because he's stuck in the worst place for him. MJF is better where he is. Exactly, James. He is. If MJF is to go to WWE and he wants to work in WWE, simply this: the only way he works is if he goes, okay, you strip everything about my character and you give me something totally brand damn new. And I mean, like, make everything about him different. Because everything about him that's authentic doesn't work in anywhere else. He's good in the mic, period. His last couple of promos have been absolute nonsense, though. Like, his delivery's been off recently. The promo last night was horseshit. I actually think last night's promo was the worst he's ever pulled. And I've heard some stinkers from him. I've heard a good few. But last night for me was the worst. This is the guy who should be I would have booked MJF to be like 1985 to 1988 Ric Flair. Like those 4 years, 85, 86, 87, 88. I would have booked MJF like that. Obviously that means you need a faction. But I think even without a faction, he can still do the relevance of that period of Flair that MJF can do. MJF should be booked like their Flair. If he's meant to be the so-called top guy, as he claims he is, then he needs to act it. And those 4 years of Flair are the best for me of his entire career. Over a long period, I mean, obviously, 89 with Funk and Steamboat stand out. He's got the match with Lex Luger, which is a shame for him because Lex Luger, Jesus Christ. And then 1990, you get the Sting match, but specifically for me, 85 to 88, those 4 years of Flair is untouchable. And that's how I would have booked MJF. Like, just make the guy untouchable in every realm. And we nearly had it, by the way. We nearly had it. But then he got injured. Which is unfortunate. But yeah, he's with a faction that he doesn't even fit into. It doesn't add to his appeal. It just takes away from it. I think they've let him down. And I think he'll let himself down. Personally, I think he will. Okay, let's quickly touch on this segment as well. So this is the obviously tonight as well in Collision. There's a Open Challenge TBS match where it's another CMLL talent, actually a good one, Rain Isis. And I said that Mercedes Moné did something really well in this segment that she does need praise for, whether you like her or don't like her, which is fine. I don't particularly care. Everyone has each to their own. What she does well is she lets Jamie Hayter control the segment. Like, this is somebody who normally likes to be in control, and you can see that. I've yet to be entertained by any of the Hurt Syndicate segments, dude. Apart from like with MJF, the first one I thought was good, but then after that, it's just been a letdown ever since. I can't take it seriously. I really can't. Everything else that he does, I can take seriously. I can't take this seriously. Jamie did control it and she did ruin Moné. But that doesn't happen if she doesn't let her control the segment, though. Like, you've got to remember that as well. Like, this is actually an important point. More often than not, Mercedes Moné is dominating her segments. Every part of it, she's dominating them. Last night she didn't, and it did her the world of good. And that's actually helpful. Whether you lead into the gimmick or you lead into even just the personality in general, there is one there. Could it shine a little bit more? Yes. But you can't not fault the Mercedes Moné is a lot better with the facial reactions than she is at certain lines. Certain lines for sure can deliver. Some of them definitely don't. Her facial expressions and her emotional reactions, I would say, are her strength when it comes to a promo or a back and forth sit down segment like this one was. Even though it's got Renee Paquette in this, and Jesus Christ, she sucks. She fucking sucks. God almighty. Yeah, her expressions during matches are great. She does that really well. Mercedes does it really well. Like, she does react great to an opponent. And that's putting someone over. That's putting someone over. But I cannot take the words of Renee Paquette seriously. The thing is, though, is when you've seen her in WWE, like NXT to WWE and now AEW, she's always been given this. She's always been given this gimmick of boss or CEO or etc. In terms of a wrestling perspective, Mercedes Moné in the ring, very few can match her. Very few, and that is the truth. On the mic, however, there are talent that definitely ruin her. I will not argue that there are talent that ruin her. She's had some good promos, one or two great ones, and then more often than not, there are promos where she just doesn't. She doesn't feel on it. She sounds like she doesn't even listen to that. Well, she does listen to her uncle, so That's the only thing I can say. Or cousin, whatever one that he actually is. I can't remember. I don't think listening to rap is what makes you do it. I think you've got to take elements. I actually think what she doesn't necessarily need someone to do the mic work for her. She doesn't need someone to do the mic work for her, but I actually think it would be good to just have like she's the CEO. So I would lead into it like this. She's sitting there reacting to people, like the way she rolls her eyes and all that. I actually think the best part of her gimmick, being the CEO, I would just pay someone to do the talking. I can't be like just sit there like you're in a sit down interview, like last night. Have a second chair. Someone goes to answer the question. She just leans in. She can just lean in and just go. And she can just whisper wherever she wants, and that person can do the talking for her. That doesn't make you a bad mic worker or anything like that. That actually makes you clever. That actually would be clever. And I actually would praise it really well because that would actually add to the gimmick. That's a change already. Yeah, it would be cool. Just imagine this. She's just sitting there. Someone's trying to get in her earwig, trying to ask her questions, and she just goes, you don't talk to me, you talk to her. The difference is when she says CEO, if you look at what she's saying, she's not doing it because she's on like her next DOI charge. It is a hell of an idea, and it would be a great one. And you know what's good about that? It's not tribal. She becomes CEO of the Don Callis family. You know what's funny? That's who I was alluding to. Don Callis was who I was actually alluding to. Because think about it, he wants control, he wants power, he wants titles in his faction. He lands the person who's probably the favourite to become world champion this year. Think of the stuff that she can do with him. 15, 20, 25-minute matches, Mercedes Moné, no problem. Don Callis hyping her up like mad. Just sits there and like imagine this is a backstage segment, like 3-4 minute segment. You've got a 3-4 minute segment, and Mercedes Moné is there. It's just Don Callis. Obviously, he'll then go back to the male talent, but he's just got. Say she's the champion, like her first opponent. Say she's got a match with. Say it's another match with Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron is incredibly competent on the mic. You've got Mercedes Moné, say, reacting to a challenge. Now, obviously, you've got Renee Paquette there talking, bubbling her gums like it's an absolute shit flick. Because that's what she sounds like. She sounds horrible. And instead of asking the question, Mercedes just goes, I'm your CEO, but you don't talk to me. You talk to him. I would be like, you don't talk to me. You talk to him. Don Callis would have it cooked in minutes. But you know what else it does? It puts over Mercedes as a heel. It puts over the CEO gimmick. It puts over Don Callis as the manager. and it puts over the opponent 4-1. Why is no one suggesting this? Why am I the only one suggesting this? And I'm not saying, oh, it's my idea, like, it's not fully on my idea, but I've not seen anyone suggest it. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen anyone suggest this. People will think, oh, you're just saying this to diminish Mercedes Moné, but I'm actually not. I like Mercedes Moné, and I want her to do what she does better than pretty much, what, 95% of the female wrestlers in the world? Wrestle. You put her with someone incredible on the mic like Don Callis, it's over. It's over. Should have been suggested months ago. I agree, James. And yeah, talk about heat magnets. They scorch the arena. They blow the arena out of the way. And see, that's what I mean, bro. AEW has better characters. We need to get more creative. Yeah, I think they're exploring ideas, but they just need to do something unique and special. This is why I've went, you know what, fuck it. This is a good way for her. Mercedes is very good in the ring, but something ain't clicking with me. What I've just suggested would click with you. I guarantee if I was booking AEW, that's what I would do, right? Like straight away, Double or Nothing. If I was booking Double or Nothing, I would have Don Callis come out and stand beside Mercedes as she beats Jamie Hayter. It's not going to happen though, but I would. I love her wrestling. She might be a sweetheart in real life, but her in-ring moves look brutal. Not your typical pretty moveset most women love. She's one of the rare few that really picked her moveset very carefully. And that's what I like. But apart from her stand and finish, which I've criticised a lot, I would rather she used a gory bomb. For example, I would like because obviously she's a big fan of Eddie Guerrero. I would prefer she used the gory bomb as a stand-in finisher. I don't like her DDT type thing because it doesn't work. I've criticised that for a long time. Or she just wins with submission moves, but she does have her way strongly. We get the hater raid from Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter's got the control because Mercedes lets her. If Jamie spoke the whole segment, Mercedes just sat there and reacted the whole way the way she does, this is the best segment on the show. If it happened like that. We get the haterade. I love that move. And then, even better, this is what I said earlier about Timeless Tony Storm. She doesn't have to do anything in terms of speech. She just has to show up. And she shows up when Jamie Hayter's doing this. Absolute vital. Like, that is honestly a perfectly vital moment. This is why Timeless Tony Storm is up there. You talk about female character gimmicks of the past 25, 30 years. There's 4 that stand out to me more than anybody. Bull Nakano, Daphne, Awesome Kong, Tony Storm. If what they do with Mercedes happens, that's 5. Deonna Purrazzo is up there too with her virtuoso gimmick. I wish I could agree, Maria, but I think she's second. I think there's only one woman who beats her when it comes to the best character. And that's how high I rate Tony Storm. Like how highly I rate her. You also got to give credit as well. Timeless Tony Storm wasn't actually her idea. That's what makes it more beautiful. It wasn't her idea. This for me is number one, Maria. This woman is for me number one when it comes to women's character on a whole consistent level. This woman. And I'm not doing it just because of Dark Side of the Ring. For me, it's simply, it will always be her. Daphne is the greatest like for women's character work. Toni Storm is second. I think Toni Storm is a lot better than Rhea Ripley. I love Rhea Ripley, but I don't disagree with you, Lara Bark. Smooth, yes, seriously. I'm serious by that. This is my own opinion, but I stand by it. I think Daphne is the greatest when it comes to this. With all due respect to Daphne, she never got over as timeless. She did. Just look how over she got in WCW. Rosemary, great character work, but she's now she ain't worth shit now. Like, she needs to retire her gimmick and try something new. I'm not kidding. She hasn't been as interesting to me since Decay folded. I actually go on a limb. I would rather have Su Yung back in TNA than Rosemary. I think there's actually multiple dimensions to Su Yung. Rosemary's one dimensional. Now, when she was with Decay, she had multiple parts to her. Now she's just one element, and it's not good anymore. Like, I can skip a Rosemary segment because I know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I can skip it. And I would skip her now. She's not worth anything anymore. Someone who is worth my time. Someone who is absolutely worth my time. Actually, two people are worth my time in this segment besides Toni Storm. Chelsea Green is absolutely incredible. Don't get me wrong. I think Chelsea Green is the best women's wrestler in WWE. And I've said that consistently. But I think when you look at it character-wise, if you're just putting talent against each other, match for match, Chelsea Green ruins them all. Most of, or at least 90+%. But in terms of character work, look how long she went in between characters. So Chelsea Green has 3 characters that stand out. Give me 2 seconds. So there's 3 characters that Chelsea Green has portrayed throughout her career in North America that stand out. So number 1 was a Dutch Mantel idea when she played the jilted bride. And that stuff was really good. Left at the altar, all that stuff, and she went into a manic depressive state and just started hurting people in a wedding dress. Really good. Second gimmick she did was when she went back to TNA after she was on the indie scene, and her work with Deonna Purrazzo stood out. Stood out in the best way in terms of just pure vibration, because her character was vibrant, and that worked. And now she's in WWE and she's portraying herself as that political character. She's in the wrong company. Her character right now would do so good right beside Mustafa Ali, the Good Hands, and Tasha Steelz in Order 4, because her political character is already right there with them. It fucking thrives instantly. She's the best on SmackDown by far. She's got no equal on SmackDown. That's how good she is. I love Chelsea Green. Ariana Grace, I see nothing in her. There's nothing for her for me. Wendy Chu, timeless, incredible. Sue Young hasn't been seen in ages, but she was brilliant. Taylor Wilde was doing really well with her before she got injured and then obviously retired. Taylor Wilde's character that she was doing with Kylan King was incredible. The tarot stuff as the Coven, that was genius. Especially because she was just an incredible technical wrestler and one of my all-time favorites. But her work as the Coven was brilliant. I think when we're in right, and Harley Cameron's something else. There's something about Harley Cameron that I can't put off. You can't describe. Awesome Kong, totally different. She was more just an absolute brute powerhouse, and I loved her. But she was a second coming of Bill Nakano for me in terms of like a powerhouse that can get over by being silent but effective. Yeah, generally nothing for me. She's boring as fuck to me. I don't find her entertaining at all. She's as funny as, what's the nicest way I can put it without offending someone? Nikki Cross. She had great character work until they put her under a mask, and that was it. Ariana Grace is just a brunette Lacey Von Erich. I purposely took myself out the stage to see if anyone would react to what I've just said. Harley is undeniable. She's Jesus. That's one way to put it. She's got a lot about her, and I like what she's doing with. I like what she's doing with Anna Jay. I think that's actually really funny. It's authentic. If they get it right, Megan Bain's another one right there. If they can get it right with her character, if they can get that right, they're in for a treat. Like I really like her. I really hope she doesn't fail. Fia Hale when she was with Chase U. Not sure. I don't really watch Chase U. I think Julia Hart's something else though, but Fia Hale I don't really know. Off the mark on Ariana though, she does great character work. I'm sorry, mate, but when I watch her in TNA, I want her to get thrown out the building on purpose. I don't see anything great about her. I don't. She's a waste of space for me. Sorry. I don't see it. I never will. I thought her dad, her dad was special. Willow, she's just a lovable sponge. I really like Willow. She's a lovable sponge. This match also has another one who has potential for great character work if they let her do something. because we get their quick result. Mina Shirakawa, again, great wrestler. I quite like the work that we get from these two, but I like the way they brought out Sky Blue as well for this at the very end. Looks shows that they're not going to stick with Sky Blue as a babyface. Mariah, mate, she's decent. Character work wise, she's not too bad. She's just probably not your bag, but she objectively has good comedic presence and delivery. Reminds me of Chelsea. The difference is I actually enjoy Chelsea Green. I don't enjoy Ariana Grace. Like, at all. I just don't. There's nothing about her that will make me enjoy watching her. I can't do it. I just can't. I tried and it won't work. But that main event, the way it ended, you get the roll up, you get the little brief reaction between the champion and the challenger, you get the double heel attack, you get the figure four leg lock round the ring post. You get the Jeopardy. Kylie Ray, when she's not following more on troll accounts, but she's decent. She's decent. I don't think she's overly great though because she's back on what ID. That says a lot about her, really, in the worst way. The fact that she's been around for a long time, she has to go back through ID, which is a bit harsh for her, but she's got talent. It's just unfortunate for her. ODB was a pretty good character. ODB was absolutely mental. It's just a shame that they stuck her with Cody Deaner. Ugh. I liked it when she was just on her own. She didn't need to be with anybody, and they stuck her with Cody damn Deaner. Painful. I think WWE would have see all the holes in WWE. ODB would have them for lunch. That would have been so fucking hilarious. She's coming back to wrestling as well, ODB. Kind of glad about that. Alright, Nippon. I like that she's coming back, but she's not going to be around for long. She just wants to come back and do little bits of appearances, which is good. We get, obviously, following this, we get the Buck segment where they're calling Samoa Joe a liar because he said throughout the show that they were going to get their hands on the heels. That, of course, doesn't happen. A brawl breaks out with everybody in Anarchy in the Arena. Again, a good follow-up to the end of the first match. We finally see where the briefcase is all night. It's with Gabe Kidd. Again, Gabe Kidd is only the second person to hold the briefcase after Marina Shafir, which is very interesting. We've got elements of treachery. Are we going to potentially see Bryan Danielson soon for any involvement? Are we going to see Darby Allin very soon? Even more of a question, are we going to see the clown Eddie Kingston soon? There's a lot here. Even Hook, there's so much involved here. I like the sell that Mox did for Willow. Willow was one of the few that really got to show so much in this that she didn't get earlier on. She stands out. I'm waiting to see what happens on Collision though, because Collision isn't going to really do a lot of tie-ins. But I'm eager to see what happens. Jack Perry. Mox said bitch. He did indeed. I think, look, first of all, Anarchy Arena is definitely going to be an absolute riot on Sunday. The fact it's not main eventing says a lot as well. Not in a bad way, but it says a lot that they're having a lot of faith in Osprey versus Hangman, considering the talent that's in Anarchy in the arena. But in terms of Jack Perry, though, his character had potential. I don't think you can continue the scapegoat when he returns. I think he needs to become something else. But if he finds a way to change it, then he's on to something. I don't know what you would do, though. He might end up showing up at Double or Nothing, though. We might see a lot of returns. Nah, smooth. It's okay to be full time at 45. There's nothing wrong with that. If you look after yourself and you're in good physical shape at 45, you shouldn't need to be on a part time schedule. But if you're definitely into your 50s and you want to keep going, then part time. I don't think you should be I don't think you should be part time if you're over 45. 50 and above, I would agree with that though, 100%. Look how good condition they are though, that's what I'm saying. If you're well into your 50s as a full timer, then I would absolutely be questioning that. But if you're 45 to say 48, 49, I've got no issue with that. Like AJ Styles on a full time schedule, I'm all right with. But I do think some guys need to go part time. I do agree with that though. Like I won't dispute that. Like Rey Mysterio should be part time. That's how shit goes. I'll tell you who's going to be in a fucked up schedule soon. Karrion Kross. Oh wait, he's already on it. But overall, Dynamite, much more different type of show in recent weeks, but it wasn't a bad one in terms of a go home show. They've put themselves in a good position going into Double or Nothing, which obviously we're going to preview on Saturday. Wait, hold on. Am I going to preview on Saturday? Yeah, I'm going to preview on Saturday, and then tomorrow night, double. I might do a double show review. I know I don't know really. Should I go? Should I review Collision for the first? If I just review Collision when Collisions are on a Thursday, any other day I won't do it. But TNA is definitely getting reviewed tomorrow because we review TNA. SmackDown can kiss my ass. I'm not reviewing SmackDown still, but I'm definitely going to preview Double or Nothing. I'm going to react to it on Monday. 100%. I'm reacting on Monday. So Sit Down with the Steel Chair is going to be on Sunday. The show that we did last Monday. I'm going to do that on Sunday instead, so I can preview Double or Nothing, and then we'll review Double or Nothing on Monday. I'm going to see if a certain good guy wants to be on the show with it. TNA and Collision double tap review. We'll do that then. But that'll be late tomorrow, like late. Maybe an hour and a half after this normal time. Maybe like 8:30 UK time, if not 9 o'clock, and then we'll go up to like 11. They got to have my girl Tony Stark getting freaky with it. The most she's done is talk shit about. She should get freaky with the balcony. Some of her jokes are fucking hilarious. Like that's natural. And where did she get it from? The person who inspired her gimmick. I mean, who do you think gave her this gimmick to do? And it wasn't me. That's not a hint. It wasn't me. Wendy Richter. No, it was her husband, Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson suggested this gimmick to her. He gave her little tidbits of things she can do, what she can morph into. Because again, Juice Robinson is incredibly creative. What happened to Shimmer? I'm not actually sure. Thank you for your stream, Reece. Take care, everyone. I'll be ready for Double or Nothing preview predictions if I can help it. Zodiac, you absolutely can. Speaking of which, James, are you still in the chat, sir? Good man. Remember, you, sir, have the right to be on the show for the stream this weekend as the defending predictions champion. Oh yeah, I forgot that match is going to be good tonight. Just a reminder that this is on the card for Impact tonight. This is going to be really good. Mustafa Ali, right now, one of the best wrestlers, still one of the best wrestlers. Like I said last week, one of the three that stand out in TNA for wrestling bar Leon Slater, Ali, Nemeth, and Santana. They're right up there, be perfect. That should be a good. I hope it will. Did you have trouble getting through the Daphne Darts? I did, yeah. I knew some of it, but some of the things, there's a few things I did learn on that episode that I really never knew about what was going on as well, but I did know quite a lot of it. But that was a really fucking difficult watch. That was a really difficult watch, that. I've been watching other episodes back, but that one was, it was a lot. And I feel so bad for her. And I was going to say it as part of the TNA review, but I think that takes away from it, so I'm not going to, but I'm going to say it tonight instead. TNA should hang their heads in shame still. I hate that. I absolutely fucking hate how TNA acted towards her. And I hate the fact that it had to be because of her, that they have concussion protocols in place. And people bailed on her. I hate that people bailed on her. And I hate that she was getting abused for her body because she had a thyroid problem later on after she wasn't able to wrestle anymore. And people bullied her for that. And it led to what happened. Some of the stuff that Dark Side of the Ring goes into, however, really is, I'm not sure if it's necessary for TV. The fact that her family, bar her daughter, were on this show says a lot as well. I thought it was very brave of the likes of Taylor Wilde to appear for what she was saying. That hit hard a lot. Mick Foley as well. I just hate that. I will never I never betrayed. I don't. I'm kind of glad I can say this. I'm kind of glad I didn't watch that Instagram live in 2022. I'm kind of glad I didn't watch that because that would have been horrifying. But I watched Daphne as a in terms of pro wrestling fan. I've always liked her, but they mugged her. Why would you wish Russo was there? Why? If anyone who shouldn't have been there, he should never have been there. There's no one like Daphne in professional wrestling right now. From a woman's perspective, there's no one. There, I don't. There never will be again either. I agree, Maria. Vince Russo was still the creator at that point, on the creative team at that point as well. You know what he would say? Ah, bro, it was all right, bro. I mean, she was good, bro. When she spoke on the mic, bro, like, you could feel her, bro. I'm glad that Mick Foley came out on that show and said that he regrets that bump, the part of it. I can't believe they turned her into a stupid bloody psychiatric gimmick and then they released her from that back into being Daphne. The only time I liked her not being her own gimmick was when she was the fake Palin. That was really, really good. Like the governess as she was back then. I loved how they did that. Like that was special. And I'm glad that they showed that on the episode. But I just hate that wrestling fans betrayed her by abusing her. It's disgusting. Her Instagram is still up. Yeah, it'll never get. I don't think it'll ever get deleted. I don't think it'll ever get deleted. It's just a shame what she had to go through and live with and etc. really took its toll on her. That's the sad part of life. No one deserves to go through that. No one. Have you not watched the episode, Smooth? If not, then I can explain. I just want to ask you if you've watched the episode first. All right, fair enough. So, episode in the episode itself, she it was leading up to the it was leading up to her like before like where they spoke about her death part, and basically she spoke on they showed a clip of a podcast she did, and basically what she was saying is she got diagnosed with a thyroid problem because she was no longer active in the ring, so her body's unfortunately did give way. So she got slightly bigger. She was gaining a lot of weight that she couldn't lose, which is horrible. And then fans started calling her like just horrible names, and obviously because of her mental health condition that she's got, she was bipolar. It was affecting her mentally, and it built and it built and it took its toll on her, and it was contributing, like it was devaluing her self-worth, and it kept going on, and they were mocking her body, and I mean they were really tearing into her, and it's just pure evil. Why are wrestlers too cowardly to band together and pressure wrestling promotions to compensate wrestlers when they are seriously injured at work? Because look what happened to Jesse Ventura with Hulk Hogan. And they know that the promotions won't anyway because they've got all the money and the control. But another thing as well, they should compensate because TNA have got previous for this. Dixie Carter, people lavish about Dixie Carter. I never will. No one said TNA killed her. No one said that. That's crazy because all the people I knew thought she was hot. Most Latinos and blacks love thick women, love her. She became that because of her thyroid condition. Before that, she was for like what? For up until I think it was up until 2019. I think that's when she started to gain the weight. I think it was 2019. But all the way up that, she was skinny, lean, not anorexic. She was just in good health, but she was lean. But people were calling her fat and they were making fun of her body, and I was like, "You sick fucks!" But TNA never had concussion protocols until she filed that lawsuit. Look at the talent that had concussions prior to this that they thought maybe we should be careful. Like, oh, I don't know, Mick Foley, Abyss, like Christopher Daniels, like you know what I mean? Like, it's not stupid. It's just illogical nonsense. But Dixie Carter, look what happened after Jesse Sorensen got injured at the hands of, well, I call him Zima Ion, but you'll call him the guy from the LWO. She brought him back as an agent, then just decided to get rid of him. She was like, "Nah, you're alright. You can go." They should have paid her medical bills. TNA should have paid her medical bills. That's something I will never forgive TNA for. Here's 4,000 action figures, or whatever it was. Sorry, 1,000. Here's 1,000 action figures. Go and sell these on an indie show. Are you for real? That stuff isn't acceptable. I love TNA, but there's some things they have done that you can never forgive them for. Like you can't. But that is something up there. So yeah, Daphne, one last drink. Cheers. Forever resting in peace you are, because you are a diamond to the wrestling business and a diamond to life. Unreal, unreal. And I love the way she put over that wrestler at the very end. That was so amazing. Look at this. Oh wow. No. Tributes pour in as boxer Georgia O'Connor dies aged 25 after cancer battle. Oh. On the same day that George Vent, who played Norman Cheers, passed away. That is sad. That is so sad. Still a big loss of professional wrestling and in life. Absolutely, James. Absolutely. See if I can find it. I still loved it. The exact amount, I don't know. This right here is something special. This is this is something about Daphne that's incredible. It's mentally. She did. She trained this woman to wrestle, and at this point, Daphne had not wrestled for years. But she was asked to train someone who always wanted to become a professional wrestler, and Daphne trained her just so that woman can put her over, which is incredible. Where is it? I literally just had it. Here it is. The Vicky Lyons story. It's meant to be on screen. Where the fuck is it? Here we go. What she did for her is absolutely phenomenal. I like this look. This for me is what I like about her as well. What's a thyroid? So I can show you. So this is where your thyroid is. It's one of your endocrine glands, and if you develop a issue with that, you can feel exhaustion or you can feel heavy weight loss, and it's not good. Like it's not good for you. Are you watching the G1? I'm going to be, yes. I'm going to be covering it as well. But your thyroid glands are here. So I don't want to promote body shaming. I don't believe in that. But I'm going to show you how sad it was for Daphne. So this was Daphne in 2000. In 2000. This is Daphne in 2000 when she's cruiserweight champion, right? This is Daphne in 2008. Actually, I'll go with 2009. Fucking behave. That's Daphne in 09. You're not wrong, Smooth. That's her in 2009. And this is sadly her before she passed. when she was getting mugged. Television actually gave me a very fair image just so I can show, because I don't like how the negative of it. Didn't Punk date Daphne for I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's what we got from her. I mean, yeah. In New York Times Square statue. Lol. Who's so gruesome? Who is? What I'm actually highlighting is what happened to her over the years. It's not gruesome. If anything, I'm showing that she didn't deserve any hell that she got from people. Because I don't see anything wrong with her. Oh, she was incredible. She was incredible. I don't see what the issue is with someone getting bigger. It's horrible that it was because of a condition. But I guarantee if she was still alive and she was still allowed to manage wrestlers, even just manage, she would be more over than far most of the talent on this planet, put it that way. The Franken Screamer, though. What a move. Underrated finisher, the Franken Screamer. TNA should have inducted her into the Hall of Fame a long time ago. I agree. I agree. People prefer Stacy Keibler. I prefer Daphne. In terms of the authentic, I prefer her. She was more authentic to me. That's why I liked when she mugged her off in WCW. Prime Jordan Grace. I was going to say everyone's got an axe to grind, but that's the wrong word. But yeah, decent episode of Collision. Dynamite. Collision, I'm hoping it'll be decent. We'll see. Yes, I get the point. You'll probably say Rhea Ripley shortly. This has been a good episode of Dynamite. We'll see where it flows in terms of Collision. Double or Nothing's going to be an intrigue. I'm very much looking forward to it. But I think all we can say now, though, is what's next? She was all legs. I mean, fair enough, but she didn't actually do anything. Unless you're Vince McMahon. WWE is stupid for not signing her. Yeah, I don't get why WWE didn't sign her when she was so over in WCW. Like, she was so over. The Scream Queen proved herself. For once, I'm looking forward to a pay-per-view. Yeah, so am I. I'm really looking forward to it. No, Rhea, not feminine enough. Jordan Grace isn't feminine enough anymore. She's something else. She's more like, she'll just kill you. Stephanie Vacour is someone you're forgetting. She just measures herself. You'll probably say Liv Morgan shortly. I won't, obviously, but not my suggestion. But yeah, double tap review tomorrow. Good, we'll do that. Saturday previewing Double or Nothing. Sunday's the sit down show. Although I pretty much sit down for every show anyway, but I'll be sitting down for this. And then obviously Monday reviewing it. We've got a lot. I looked at her final Insta post. She was open. I never looked back. The only thing I look back is her matches because I like to compare the past to the present for different things. Before she sounded like Darth Vader, I think that was just from all the. I'm definitely certain she took steroids. I liked when she was thick Mama Pump. That was a good gimmick. I know obviously she became like that, the juggernaut, and she went on an absolute incredible run in wrestling matches. But I wish she didn't have to. I know she got obsessed with bodybuilding. I get that, but and she's still a great wrestler. I just I hate that's not what we have now. But you still put her in the ring. She's still going to be one of your best matches. Which show do you think wins the most viewers? It'll be Collision. I will be watching both, but I'm not going to be blind on it. Collision will get more viewers, which doesn't really matter to me. They're getting one viewer each for me. I'm hoping both shows will be good. I don't know what realistically. I've seen both cards. I know what to expect. I'm just eager to see what the delivery is. And obviously on Friday as well is Under Siege. Under Siege is also on Friday, so I don't really need to remove anything like that. People like Jim body shamed her. Jim who? Jim Ross, Jim Cornette? They didn't body shame. They didn't body shame her. Like Lita at one point sounded like a bit like Darth Vader. 2000 and 2004, 2005 until the heel turn. Really weird. To be fair, people have their preferences. People have their preferences. And I get that. I get that, obviously. Scary Sherry was an odd one. I preferred her other characters. She was wild though. Like, she was wild in the way that she can blend in any way. Sensational Sherry was cool. Jim Cornette body shamed her. Did he? When? Oh wait, hold on. This was 7 years ago. Is it? From 7 years ago. On Twitter. 2018. I've actually found the tweet, weirdly enough. I've actually found it. Okay, maybe it's not that. Hmm. Oh, that's what he called her. He called her Butterface. That was it. He called her Butterface. Very weird choice of words, though. They've actually got the whole threads from 6 years ago, which is mental. I have never like that. I've never seen that before, and I've never seen that word before. So that's what he called her. So butterface means a person regarded as having an attractive body but unattractive facial features. And then in brackets, harshly, it does say it's typically used of a woman. It's a mashup of the pronunciation of the phrase "but her face." Damn. I've never seen that being used in context before. I will admit, I've never seen that before. Yeah, this was cool. I loved when she was sitting on her phone like Shao Kahn. She really held on so well to that. The only time I heard Jim Cornette body shame someone was towards Mark Madden. Don't even remind me. That was horrible. I thought Wendy as Mei Ying was great. It's sad they didn't continue the Tian Sha stable because, well, people were getting upset. Also, there was just cheap stuff. What about Molly Holly when she was the Hurricane sidekick gimmick? I think that wasn't too bad, actually. It wasn't too bad. Speaking of people who that wasn't too bad, that deserved a lot more. A certain little member of Right to Censor. Jim Cornette's hatred towards Vince Russo is hilarious. He calls him shit stain. Oh, he really does. He is still waiting. His own words. He is waiting for Vince Russo to die so he can piss on his own grave. Reality will never get well for Jim Cornette. You know who doesn't get enough credit? Sonya Deville. When she was playing the crazy girl with Mandy, she was scary. It was so authentic. I forgot about that, but that's just because I forgot about Sonya Deville. Not in a bad way. I've got nothing against Sonya Deville. I just completely forgot about her. I just completely forgot. She was decent though. I will say she was decent. She wasn't horrible or anything. I'll tell you what cost her career though, what went against her. Her bitching and moaning about Ronda Rousey. I mean, let's be real. Sonya Deville would have got ripped apart by Shayna Baszler anyway, but the whole thing was just bad. The stalker thing, yeah, that was really horrible. Oh yeah, he does. Like he would wipe. He would if he had the ability to. Like, if he could Thanos snap someone, Jim Cornette would Thanos snap Vince Russo out of existence. Lacey Evans, she deserved what she got. I will. She she fucking deserved what she got. I don't care. She deserved everything that happened to her. Horrible human being. Good wrestler. Horrible human being. Hello, Abu. How are you? Uh, I don't think they should, Maria. I think there's other talents they should go for first that are that would do a lot more for them right now. I think Sonya Deville right now has a great future as a podcaster. I'm not too bad, mate. Not too bad, thanks. I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're good. Her comments about people with autism, tone deaf, all that nonsense. Like, especially with somebody like who has like a relative like that. What she said was just absolutely pathetic. She got all that for what she said. She shouldn't have done it. It was just weird. It was just out of nowhere as well. Like, she didn't need to say it. Carrying Cross, again, mistakes. He's turned his shit around. And then he's been fucked off TV ever since. She could have succeeded. She could have. I mean, now she's succeeding emptying people's wallets, but not all fans were, but the ones that paid attention were specific. See, I rated her as a talent. I did rate her as a talent. What Tessa did is unforgivable, but what Lacey Evans also did is unforgivable as well. There's no which one's worse. Not in my opinion, anyway. It didn't work because WWE's incompetence in her big mouth. Yep. I mean, look at what they did to Shayna Baszler. That for me is the biggest main roster fumble I've ever seen in terms of that women's division. Huge fumble. Pathetic, I might add. Absolute joke. I don't know how you can have Shayna Baszler absolutely dismantle that triple threat match at Survivor Series to then win the Elimination Chamber the way she does against a pregnant champion as well at WrestleMania and still have her lose. Absolute delusion. And then you have her run scared from a doll. You team her up with Nia fucking Jax. Ugh. The Ric Flair Lacey Evans storyline was so bad, cringe. That was just so damn odd. That was probably one of the only times where I literally went to Charlotte Flair, Jesus Christ. Where I've went in terms about Charlotte Flair, where I went, Jesus Christ, you've just been ridiculed for life. I mean, to be fair, I did find the Sasha Banks, as she was called at the time, segment with her Jericho, etc., when she said, if it wasn't for a one night stand, you aren't born. I thought that was funny. But this whole thing with Lacey Von Erich, with Ric Flair, like, yeah, that was just really odd. What grade do you give Dynamite? I'll give it a B plus. I'll give it a B plus. There's something actually I didn't mention earlier on that I actually thought was really cool. I liked during the end segment, like all the violence. I loved that the Dynamite theme song kept playing as well. I thought that was very crafty. I'm fine with over the top if it works. That's why there will never be another female faction as successful as the original Beautiful People. Because they actually knew what they were doing. I think Alexa's overrated. Vince McMahon just pushed her because he saw her as a sex object. I don't know. I get if you think she's overrated. I actually think she's alright, Alexa Bliss. You can see that there's something about her that's a redeeming quality. But I get your point. No, Abel, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with suggesting it. I don't think there's an issue with saying that she's overrated. I think she was very lucky with the element of the time she got that allowed her to change and become something. Her original gimmick was so crap. When she changed into the goddess gimmick, like I liked her goddess run, 2016, like 2016 to 2018 specifically. I thought she was at her best. I think anything after that, you could say hit or a miss. But 2016 to 2018, she was a hit. I like that period. And also I liked the way that she portrayed viciousness. Ashley Massaro, she was good in Smallville, but she's also somebody who went through tragedy. What happened to her was disgusting. Should Sable be in the Hall of Fame? No. Not for me. I think she can be scary if she's vicious, but not scary as like an intimidating force. But if she's scary like when she attacks you from behind, I would believe it. But Sable in the Hall of Fame? Nah. No thanks. When you don't induct Miss Elizabeth into the Hall of Fame, that's when you know how much of it is a sham when it comes to women. When someone like that absolute cow. Actually, no, I mean, by the way, the absolute cow that I'm thinking about and I'm referring to in this circumstance is the fabulous Moolah. I'm glad Bill Nakano's in the Hall of Fame, though. Obviously, one of my all-time favorites, but Miss Elizabeth should be in there. Celebrities shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. They shouldn't be. I actually personally hate that. That's something I agree on with Eric Young. I don't know, Maria. She'll hold gold in Ring of Honor, etc. She was a top star in another company, but I don't know why she's not being made to be. She's right up there. Her promo skills, her mic work, her own character that she developed, it works. It works. I don't know why he's not doing enough with her. It's bizarre to me. It bloody annoys me, that's for sure. It's just absolute mental. Mike Tyson is in the Hall of Fame. He got inducted in 2012. Absolutely, James. Like the fact that like it is a disgrace. The very first inductee was just an add-in from Vince McMahon. He never got a proper induction. The very first official entrant into the Hall of Fame never got an official induction. They just named the Hall of Fame and named one particular person as the first inductee, which is also kind of sad. Abu, I agree. Should Dennis Rodman be in the Hall of Fame? Nope. He shouldn't be in it. Like Jay Leno shouldn't be in it. Arnold Schwarzenegger shouldn't be in it. God rest his soul, but the man was great. Muhammad Ali should not be in the Hall of Fame. Like, it's just ridiculous. He should be in the Boxing Hall of Fame where he rightly belongs, and I'm glad he is, but he shouldn't be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Mr. T should not be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Drew Carey agreed he shouldn't be in it. Floyd Mayweather, one match, one stupid feud with the Big Slow. He should never get anywhere near it. Cyndi Lauper is who you're thinking of. To be fair, you don't always get an advantage by showing them, by the way. Cyndi Lauper, she did contribute. Mickey James has entered the chat. Yeah, because she wants the gear removed. Sorry, she wants the gear covered up. Do you think Logan Paul will be inducted? If he does, they are fucking idiotic. He doesn't deserve it any day of the week. Ever. He should never get inducted. Where do you rank Captain Lou Albano? What, all time? As in, where do I rank him as a wrestler? Pfft. Fuck knows, like. It definitely depends on the person, though, Smooth. Nick Aldis asking me, Jesus Christ, Abu. Oh, as a manager? Top 15. He's in the top 15. Mickey James is a great wrestler, but she is an absolute bona fide hypocrite. And a moron. A huge ass moron. Mm-hmm. That's her. Just look at how she treated those talent on LFG saying, oh, you're showing yourself to get ahead. Mickey, like you did consistently. You absolute bona fide cretin. Mickey James is an absolute example of glutton for punishment. That woman keeps leaving WWE, gets treated like shit, and still keeps going back to get replaced by fucking Michelle McCool as a coach. Mickey James honestly just likes to get banged by WWE. Put it that way. Of course she meant it. She hasn't shied away from it either. It's mental. Like, if you look at her, when you think of people that have shown themselves to get ahead but still done work, Mickie James is right up there. Good wrestler, but just stupid. Lola Vice is... I see nothing in her as well, lads. Sorry. Good body, but I just can't. I just don't see talent in her. Sol Rook, on the other hand, I do. Mickie James posed for magazines before she became a wrestler. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She was definitely a wrestling fan, but that's the reality of it. Absolutely great wrestler. I've had the privilege of seeing her live, but yeah. Mm. She's nicer than Becky Lynch, I'll say that. But she's still a stupid idiot for what she said on LFG. There was no need for it. Ugh. Right, I'm gonna go another minute and a half, and then I'm out of here. I've done a bit of wrestling myself until issues with my back kicked in. Then I was like, nah, I can't do it anymore. What return would you want to see at Double or Nothing? At the same time, I want Darby Allin and Jay White to return at the exact same time. Who is a better wrestler, Mickie James or Nick Aldis? Yeah, Nicky Aldis. Nick Aldis for sure. I'm surprised Mickie James hasn't done. Well, no idea. She probably will at some point. Top 5 Willow matches. Her Extreme match with Sky Blue. Her Fatal 4-Way at Wrestle Dynasty. Her singles match with Chris Statlander. Well, actually, she's had 2 great matches with Statlander, and then number 5 when she beat Mercedes Moné. That's my top 5 Willow matches. She's incredible though. I would rather be the head of creative because at least I'd actually fix something. Although I would love to own my own. I would love to own and book my own wrestling company. That'd be so much fun. Be a wrestler, then book. Is Trish overrated? I don't think so. I think if she never improved as a wrestler, then I would say yes. But she did actually go and improve herself, so I don't think she is. I seen someone the other day say that Victoria / Tara was overrated, and I thought they were absolutely insane. Well, Kiera Hogan used to be in TNA. She's fine where she is. She should never. She doesn't. She should not go back. No chance. Okada, I don't think he drops the title until he faces Omega All In. International title versus Continental title. Title versus title. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'm going to get out of here. Later start time tomorrow, but you'll see it when I go live. And then we'll have fun on the way out. But for now, good night, goodbye, so long, fuck off, no sayers. But you guys, the good guys, Come back tomorrow. Of course she was. She's a real wrestler. Night, guys.